Good evening, folks. There's a few things that need to be talked about. First off, let's start with one thing. Jussie Smollett. Found guilty on 5 of the 6 charges against him for a fake hate crime. Hired 2 of his own black men that he hired. He's a gay man, obviously. But he hired 2 guys to harass him, to create a fake hate crime. Perfect act of them all. Perfectly. Had the wounds and everything. Perfectly good. The 2 guys beat him up just enough for him to talk. Didn't beat him up hard, but they did beat him up. They beat him up just enough so he could actually talk. Just enough to give a description of him. And sure enough, they were supposedly arrested for the crime. But they said, this is MAGA country. Even though it was in a town that's highly liberal, which is Chicago. And this is the problem we got. He's a diehard Democrat. Jussie Smollett is. He's one of the liberal elites, but yet he thought he'd get away scot-free because he's one of them. And thought he could do that. That's not how the system works. Justice was served again. But this time, the way the system should be. Now, we're going to compare this case to Amanda Knox. He filed for an appeal because he was found guilty on 5 of those charges. Yeah, that's fine. You have the right to file an appeal. However, in Italy, for Kyle Rittenhouse's situation, since he was found not guilty on all charges, thing about that, they came in very weak with that. They didn't have a case from the very beginning. The evidence showed he was defending himself from the very beginning, despite all that. This is like Walking Tall all over again. He was defending himself. They came at him one at a time. I don't know if you've ever seen it with The Rock, another diehard liberal, but at the time of the movie, it was a good movie. He would come at them and hit them all, beat up his whole entire drug gang with a single board, only a board. And that was it. That's all it took. That's all it took to beat up his whole entire drug gang at the time. And nobody knew it was a drug running business at the time. But he exposed it after he won the case. And he ran for sheriff. And he ended up winning the case. Case dismissed. So, what goes on here? Plain and simple. Amanda Knox, over in Italy, was found not guilty. The lawyers thought otherwise. They said, no, we're appealing this verdict. So, the prosecutors say, we're appealing this verdict. Well, here in the United States, the prosecution cannot challenge the verdict. Well, over in Italy, I'm not sure in any other foreign country, they can. So, that's what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. They cannot appeal the verdict. They can object the verdict all they want, but this is not Italy. That's why liberals are all upset, because they know they lost the verdict. They might be upset about the verdict, but they gotta accept the fact that this is not Italy, where Amanda Knox was challenged, where she was challenged, and they wanted her to go back there and face their trial. But no. Italy wanted her to fly back there so she can face the trial again. She spoke fluent Italian in the court and got her wish and successfully won the case. She was released and flew back to the United States and has since now living a normal life. She supposedly, according to what the prosecution in Italy said, she murdered her roommate, which I guess evidence that the defense came up with proved otherwise. I don't know what the defense said in that case. Now, let's see what the evidence shows with everything else. I mean, Alec Baldwin, for instance, he's saying he didn't pull the damn trigger. Well, let's just see what happens there. Since when did... I've noticed a lot of... It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know a gun cannot go off without pulling a trigger. Even an 18th century style... Even a 19th century style gun, which is a revolver that time. They said that all you gotta do is check. Someone can hand you a gun and say, hey, this thing's not loaded. The right thing to do is check it yourself. Every time. Every time on set, you are to look at the gun and check that revolver yourself. Or whatever kind of gun it is. You gotta pretend like it's loaded every time it's handed to you. Point the gun on the ground and look at it. Now, back to where we were. It's plain and simple. Jesse Smollett hired 2 guys to beat him up, and it worked. He went into the hospital wearing 2 MAGA hats, and they saw him buying 2 MAGA hats, and he gave him money. There was a picture of him handing money to the same 2 black guys. And the police proved it. It's 2 same guys walking with him, all holding hands. Gave him money. Giving money to both guys. They walk into a store. Buy the money. He's standing outside. And then they're out in the store. Buying MAGA hats. Go back out wearing the MAGA hats and beat him up. Then they scream, "This is MAGA country." And then, on the road they go. And that's why he was found guilty for doing a fake hate crime. Well, I guess the well-known actor, now can try to do some acting in prison. What acting crimes can he do in prison? I'm sure you'll have a good acting career in prison. Enjoy your time there, bud. You're gonna need it. Because I don't know how you can get out of it when you appeal. Your appeals are gonna be hard to overcome. With all the evidence already stacked against you once, I don't know how you can overcome it again. I've yet to see anyone win an appeal. Well, with that being said, I got work I gotta do. And other things I have to do. So hit the like button, hit the bell for notification, like and subscribe. With that being said, I'm out of here. Peace.